All right. And this is the third video in the series about editing the Professional Wrestling Studies Association journal. It's the second video addressing the process. The first video addressed the people and resources available to an editor. The second video talked about the editing process beginning with WrestlePosium and carrying you into the summer, basically, as the manuscripts from the scholars who present at WrestlePosium begin to appear in the over the transom on the doorstep, whatever the phrase is for you. You send those articles out for peer review. You wait for the reviews. Reviews, usually we give people a month to work on a review in most cases. Occasionally someone will ask for longer. If you give someone more than 2 months, they just wait until 1 month to do it. It's kind of sad. In any case, what other steps can you take in the meantime as an editor? You can solicit pieces. The journal flourishes when, for example, there are interviews. And if you have a colleague, a friend, a student who would be great at interviewing a professional wrestler or a professional wrestling association member, scholar, professional fan, there are lots of those. You should feel free to commission an interview for the journal. There are reviews. You should feel free to commission reviews of books, reviews of other media, documentaries, websites that advance the making of knowledge about professional wrestling in all of its many and diverse forms. This process of inviting essays, reviews, other pieces is really how an editor gets it to make the journal their own, to leave their mark, to show their emphasis. You may, for example, totally have a interest in Canadian wrestling. By all means, commission people to write about Canadian wrestling. These pieces don't go through the peer review process. They go through you as the editor. You're welcome to seek consult from other members of the association because we're always here for each other. It's one of the nicest associations that way. But you're going to want to yank those things together, pull those manuscripts in so that around, I don't know, the start of fall, Labor Day in the United States, you can start pulling together the manuscripts. You can start saying, well, we know that we'll publish these 2 reviews, this interview, and these 3 articles. I would say somewhere between 3 and 6 articles is a very full journal. If you're at the 3 article mark, I think some nice reviews and interviews would be a nice way to round it out. The hard part about being an editor, in this case, are the final 2 steps, which are the design and the copy editing. First thing I recommend to anyone who's new to editing is run any document you can through at least 2 spell checkers. So I often will run it through the Google Docs spell checker, and I will run it through the Microsoft Word spell checker just to see if one catches things the other one doesn't. And as I've added things to the dictionary, for example, in one software rather than the other, yeah, there may be some differences in the sensitivities of the different software packages. So if you're not a good copy editor, one of the strong suggestions is you start at the end of a piece and you read it backwards. That way your brain doesn't start to fix things for you because it knows what it should look like. Instead, you're forced to look at each word on its own without really understanding where it fits into the sentence. And it makes it easier to go, wait, that's misspelled. Or wait, that's spelled the way it sounds, but that's a there type problem where you've written the wrong there. You can catch those things more easily if you start at the end and work your way back. Lastly, there's layout. Popping it into usually a software package like InDesign or like Pressbooks. There are some free packages that past editors have used to generate some very nice looking PDFs, which are in the end uploaded by the president of the association, say within a few weeks of WrestlePosium, to build some heat, build some enthusiasm for the new WrestlePosium. You can share it at the WrestlePosium so that people know what they're contributing to. It's a pretty awesome thing. It's exhausting being an editor. Now that it's the end of these videos, I feel like I can offer just a little bit of advice. If you try to do it all by yourself alone, you're going to get exhausted and then you're going to quit. Instead, make it a team project. Make it a team project leaning on the other leaders of the association, and make it a team project leaning on your own circles and communities, the other friends you have who want to be writers, who want to write about wrestling, who want to be interviewed, who want to watch a documentary and write a 500-word review of it for the publication. Take advantage to activate your networks and make it valuable, not just to you, but to the people who matter to you. That's my advice. Super excited to have you join us in this process and be part of the organ which both allows members of the society to talk to each other and allows members of the society to talk to people outside the society about what we do, why it's important. I'm grateful you're here.